I met Kendall Jenner.
Something about you makes me feel like a dangerous woman. Something about you makes me.
Hey guys, today I thought I would do a story time video because I met Kendall Jenner. Ooh, like just saying that is so crazy. And also at the end I'll have a little bonus story because I did meet a YouTuber as well within the same week. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. That's a little bit of a quicker story, but let's just get into it. So, my mother and I were going into the city to see a ballet, Pennsylvania Ballet. They're performing, and if you don't know already, I am a ballet dancer, so we see ballets and dance shows all the time. So yeah, we were just going into the city to see a ballet, and I was asleep in the car because I nap in the car all the time, and all of a sudden my mom wakes me up. So I was like wondering, you know, we're probably here already, whatever, totally normal. But there are like, when I wake up there are cars surrounding, which is normal for the city, but like they were all empty, like people were jumping out of them. There are flashes, and obviously when you're like first waking up, things are sort of fuzzy, so I was so confused. And I realized that they're paparazzi, and my mom's like, look, there's like a big crowd, you know, like something's going on, there are paparazzi everywhere. And she told me to ask one of the guys in the car like who was in the store, like to the left of us, because you could see there was a big crowd outside of the store. So I asked the guy who's just like in the car, who was like driving the car, and like somebody out of his passenger side came out with a camera, and I asked him who's in the store. He said Gigi Hadid, which was not true. It was Kendall Jenner, but you know, I would have been totally amazed with meeting Gigi Hadid also. Either way, I wanted to go to the window to see who was in there. So my mom was like, do you want to go meet them? You know, I want to go see who's in the store. And I was like, of course, like, thanks for like stopping and letting me get out the car and go and see who is in this store. And I approached the window. I realized that it's like a pet store, not just a pet store, but like a puppy adoption place. And I'm standing, like, there's the door, which was pretty empty. There were like maybe 5 people, and then there's like the big glass like storefront window with a huge crowd. So I stand by the door because the door was glass too, and I was like, why is anybody standing over here? And then somebody asked me, or somebody told me that they're not letting people into the store because I guess it was like for, well, I guess they thought it was for, you know, privacy of celebrity and all this stuff. So I'm standing at the door, and yeah, and a bunch of people were asking me like who's in there. I was like, I don't know. And I look in and I see Kendall, and I like, my heart dropped. Like I literally like freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like Kendall Jenner. She had her sunglasses on. She was with a bunch of people. And another person asked me who's in there. I was like, that's Kendall Jenner. And there was a paparazzi guy next to me, and he was like, yeah, there's Kendall Jenner in there, but they're not letting us in. And he was like, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna go in. So he goes in, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go in, like whatever. There were other people in there already, like I wouldn't be the only one in there, you know, besides her. So I walk into the store, and the store is set up like this. So in the main area there are a bunch of like puppies, like toys, and cages, and like beds and food and all this stuff. And then on the right, to the right, is this huge like plexiglass wall full of like puppy cages with actual dogs in there. And there's like this open space next to that between all the merchandise and the cages. And then in the back there are like 4 pens set up for if you want to, you know, take out a puppy and test it out, like before you want to actually adopt it. So there's this brunette sitting there with a denim jacket on, facing the back wall, and I was like, okay, so that's her basically. Like I wasn't really sure because I couldn't see, like it was just like brown hair. And so she's sitting there in one of the pens. There's also another like just random group of people in another pen playing with a puppy, and a few stragglers in the store and like a family walking around. So I decide to not approach her. So I just looked at the wall of puppies, and I was like dressed up because I was going to, you know, the dance show, so I wanted to like look presentable, and I was wearing like heels, a blazer, I had this lipstick on, so I was looking pretty, you know, professional and whatever, and I wasn't just looking like a random straggler off the streets, you know, coming in to say hi to Kendall Jenner. I hope I haven't been saying Kylie this whole time. That would be so awkward. Anyway, so I wasn't just trying to like, you know, come say hi to Kendall Jenner, which I was definitely, but at one point, so I was just looking at the puppies, and at one point this huge rush of people just came in. So they were like, in the front there were about 4 like teenagers, a little bit older than me, that were like yelling, "Kendall, Kendall," and like there were some other people trying to take pictures of her with their phone, just like the back of her, because she was sitting over there with her friends. And yeah, so they were yelling like Kendall, and there like a huge like mob of paparazzi came in. They were like started taking pictures of her, and that's when she got up and like walked to like this back section of the store and like just like walked so she wasn't visible, and I like saw her face. I was like, yeah, that's definitely Kendall. So I'm still over here just like looking at the puppies, and this huge mob gets all kicked out, like all of them get kicked out, and nobody bothered me, nobody said it. Like the owner was walking around this whole time and he did not say anything to me. I actually asked him like questions like, how much is that puppy, oh what's that breed, like, you know, blah 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 blah. And I'm very good at like, well, I wouldn't say I'm like a good actor or anything, but I'm very good at like playing it cool, you know what I mean? So so after that, after I'm literally still just looking at the puppies, my mom calls me. She's like, oh, so is it her? And I'm like, yeah, it is, oh my gosh. And I was like trying to whisper, you know. So after a while, I'm still looking at the puppies, and Kendall Jenner passes me. And at that point, she was like blocking one of her friends. So this person that Kendall had been blocking this whole time was Haley Road, which, if you don't know who that is, she's a famous model that actually like hangs out with the Jenners and stuff, and she's gorgeous. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's so cool, they're like hanging out together, like I get to actually see them together, and so crazy. So Kendall like doesn't approach me, but she like passes me, right, and I like actually compliment her jacket. I'm like, I love your jacket, and she's like, thanks. And I was like sort of freaking out that Kendall had just talked to me, you know, like, oh, Kendall Jenner, oh my gosh. So so after that, she goes back to her friends, she's, you know, playing with the dogs, blah blah blah. And so at this point, there's like the people in the pen, the random people in the pen, her group, a family, and me in the store, and like the owner. And it's quite empty, and her and her group start to leave, and I'm like, okay, here's my chance. There's like nobody else harassing her right now, nobody else approaching her. The owner is like sort of in the back, and like, here's my chance, she's about to leave, like I need to run after her. So she starts leaving, going towards the door, and I'm like walking so fast because she didn't hear me the first few times. I was like, Kendall, excuse me, Kendall, and I'm like walking faster. I was like, excuse me, Kendall, I know you probably don't want to be bothered, but I was just wondering if I could take a picture with you. And she was like, oh yeah, sure. And I got a picture with her, and here it is. Oh my gosh, Kendall Jenner and me, like in the same. I was breathing her air. Do you understand me? Like, so I was low-key freaking out. I was sweating so much, and I got a picture of Kendall Jenner. So that's the story on how I met Kendall Jenner. And I like walked out right behind her, and like a huge mob of paparazzi just swarmed her, and it was so crazy. So yeah, I met Kendall Jenner. And now for a little story about how I met Casey Neistat, who is a YouTuber who has 2 million subscribers, and he's super awesome. He works with Jesse from Prank vs. Prank like often, and that's how I actually came to know of his channel. And he does like really high definition vlogs and really cool vlogs and stuff, and they're amazing. And I didn't really get to, I saw him in real life like we were like this far from each other. Like, I didn't really meet him, but I did hang out with his son. And here's like a clip from his me and my son video or something like that. Yeah, so this guy right here, I hung out with for 2 days. So my best friend lives in the city, and I went to have sleepover at her house, and she has a boyfriend, and we were in the mall area and went to Rite Aid, and then we saw this guy, right? And his name's Owen, and he is my best friend's boyfriend's best friend, if that makes any sense. And we ended up just hanging out with him because we like ran into him, and Max, who's my best friend's boyfriend, and him are like good friends, so we hung out for like the rest of the night, and we ended up getting home at like 12 or whatever. And then the next day he met back up with us again, and he was like, oh, I can't hang out for long because it's my dad's birthday. I was like, oh, that's so cool, you know, whatever. And we go to Shake Shack together, and then when we leave Shake Shack, he's gonna go meet up with his father, and we were gonna go just like separate. So he goes to meet up with his father, who happens to be across the street, and all of a sudden Casey Neistat rides by on his longboard with his camera in his hand, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love your videos. So yeah, I met him too, which is amazing and crazy. And he was like, okay, well, I guess my dad's working, so I guess I'll just hang out with you guys, or you could come to my apartment. So I went inside of Casey Neistat's apartment, like his actual apartment. It was amazing. Here are some pictures from my Snapchat. Yes, can we just, yeah, so that was the view, and like it's just gorgeous. And so I met 2 famous people in 1 week, and also I went to a concert that Thursday, if you saw from my last video. Yes, so it was a very great week for me, to say the least, and I hope you like the story time. I feel like story time could be sort of boring sometimes, but I feel like this was a crazy story of how I met 2 celebrities in 1 week, and well, a lot of people were asking me actually how I met them on my Snapchat and stuff. So yeah, definitely add me on Snapchat below. You can find all of my social media information, and yeah, so oh, by the way, sorry I had a period of time where I just did not upload because my computer had some storage issues and blah blah blah, so I'm gonna try to get back on the schedule. Yeah, comment, like, subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
They call you cry.